We've been shitting on Arch Manning, trashing him for the majority of this season, and all of a sudden, he's been playing some really good football as of late, and nobody wants to give Arch Manning credit when credit is due, but I'm going to go ahead and give Arch Manning his props. With how well he played against Vanderbilt, 3 touchdowns, completed over 70% of his passes, you are now seeing Texas play up to their potential at the right time. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And you want to play your best football at the near end of the season, because that's when you're trying to make that late season playoff push. And with how well Arch Manning has played for Texas over these last couple of weeks, the Longhorns are as dangerous as any other team in America right now. You saw this defense swarming against Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia, he got sacked 6 times. Texas front 7 completely obliterated Vandy up front. And although Vandy was able to get back into the game and score some garbage time points late to make it a respectable final score, Texas dogged the Commodores. They dogged Diego Pavia and Vandy. This game was over as soon as Texas threw the first play. It went to the crib. Ryan Wingo took it to the house. Texas just was the more talented team, the better coach team, and with them having good quarterback play now, they're as dangerous as anybody as far as the national championship conversation goes. I can see them beating Georgia on the road in Athens. Georgia's quarterback play has been okay, but I would say with how well Arch Manning has played these past 2 weeks, he's been better than Gunnar Stockton. And you can trust Texas passing attack more than what you can out of Gunnar Stockton and Georgia's passing attack. Texas defense is also better than Georgia's. Georgia's defense is as bad as it's ever been under Kirby Smart. All Texas has been missing is consistent quarterback play. Quarterback is the difference when you're playing in the toughest conference in college football. The difference between the top teams in the SEC and the mid, below average team in this conference oftentimes comes down to 2 things: coaching and quarterback play. We know Texas has a good coach in Steve Sarkisian, but do they have good enough quarterback play? It looks like they do now with Arch Manning. Texas can beat anybody with how well Arch Manning has been playing down the stretch. With how this defense is just swarming, I can easily see Texas making it to Atlanta, playing in the first week in the SEC championship in December, and somehow winning the SEC when we least expected them to. And one thing about a team like Texas, LSU, Penn State, talent isn't really the issue. Sometimes it just comes down to a few crucial parts that you're just not able to get right in order to win. And Texas looks like they finally have figured that out. The talent never goes away. All you have to do is be able to make adjustments. And the offensive line has played drastically better over these last couple of weeks. That Vanderbilt defense is really formidable. And they got a lot of issues when it comes to just being able to deal with teams that just out-roster them by a huge margin, like how Texas and Alabama do. But don't get it twisted. That Vanderbilt's team is still really good. I would put Vanderbilt up against any other team in college football outside of Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Texas, and Alabama. That's really about it. Outside of those teams, I think that Vanderbilt could get right with anybody else. They're not a fluke. At one point, we were looking at Vanderbilt as a guaranteed win. So you can't discredit Vandy just because they lost to a better Texas team that completely blew them out. And the good amount of people that I was talking to were taking Vanderbilt to win this game. I was one of the few, not in the majority, that believed Texas, with the desperation that they had, were going to be able to pull off this win. You just can't go on the road and win in Austin. This is one of the toughest environments in all of college football. You got to have a really talented team to beat Texas in their home territory. And Vanderbilt just didn't have enough firepower to compete with one of the most expensive rosters in college football. And I think moving forward, if you're a fan of Texas, you got to feel great about your chances of not just making it to the playoffs, but being able to live up to the expectations that you had for this team before we even kicked off, which was making it to the national championship and winning it all. And with how Arch Manning has started to turn it on down the stretch, I think Texas is right back in that national championship conversation.